I wanted to reread the dissertation. And let me talk about that. I've now put on my schedule for every Friday to reread my dissertation. I've only read my dissertation a handful of times in the year or so I've been working on it. 9 months. 9 months or so? Yeah, it's been about 9 months I've been working on my dissertation. I've only really read it a handful of times. That's a mistake. It's long, it's tedious, but I made 2 or 3 hours available on Friday nights, I think it's 2 hours, to read the dissertation. I plan to read it every week now. Probably should have been doing that all along, but now I've got time, I'm planning it. Meant to do that on Friday, and I didn't, but I plan to every Friday. However, on Saturday, and now I'm officially in my new course, on Saturday, first thing I did was reread the dissertation, printed it off and read it. I'll do that again on Friday and every coming Friday, I hope. I also tried to watch week 4 of the Dissertation Rocket Launch course, but it wasn't there. I don't know if there was a bug in the system or what. I contacted support and actually got Dr. Strickland on the phone on a Saturday. He's out on the East Coast. And he said he wasn't sure what was happening, but he'd look into it and I should have it by Monday, and he'd contact me if there was an issue. So today's Sunday, haven't heard back from him, no surprise. It's still unavailable as of about 15 minutes ago. So of the 4 Dissertation Rocket Launch courses, I wanted to watch all 4 before I got hot and heavy into my new course. I only managed to watch 3 of them. I've got the 4th one yet out there. Hopefully I can watch it this coming week. What else? I started planning my individual success plan. That's a 12-week document where you plan out week by week what you hope to do throughout the course of the course that I'm in. Actually, it's a document. It's only for 8-week courses. Every course I've taken at Grand Canyon University has been an 8-week course until this week. Now, these extension courses are 12 weeks. So I actually had to modify the document to be a 12-week document, not an 8-week document. That's okay. And I started filling out what I wanted to do. I had a discussion question due today, or Saturday. I filled that out as well. Today, Sunday, I actually had a friend of mine who was baptized. Went to his baptism this morning and spent some time with him and his family. Went out to lunch and with some friends. We had a cigar. Much of my Sunday was eaten up. Much of my scheduled dissertation time was eaten up. I have to keep that to a minimum, but I tried to compensate by working late, hence this video being done at nearly 10 o'clock, and I have to be up at 4:30. So I need to keep going. What did I do? I set time with my dissertation chair to meet. We're going to meet Tuesday the 30th. I'd invited him to meet Saturday, and he replied, and I replied back. Now we're going to meet on Tuesday and go through some of the issues that I'm working on. What else? I completed the individual success plan. It took several hours to get through that and really go through it. And here's why. I have 4 of these courses, but my current course, it's 3 months long, and there are 3 things I want to do. And I'll tell you what those 3 things are. It's number 1, to bulk up the literature review. That's what's been haunting me for months. I have a path forward to get it complete and up to size. It's about 18 pages right now. It needs to be 30. I'm confident I can get there in this next sprint. And so that's one thing I wanted to do. Another thing I want to do is switch to a quantitative methodology. I need to update my prospectus for that, and I need to update the dissertation for that. I plan to do that as well. My first document due to my chair for review is on week 8. So I have weeks 1 through 7 to do those 2 things. Bulk up the literature review to where it's 30 pages with a number of references it needs, number of recent references it needs. I've got to do all of that. I've got a plan for that. And then also to spend a week or 2 changing out the prospectus and the proposal, that's the first 3 chapters of my dissertation, to a quantitative methodology. That's probably going to be a stretch to get that done, but if I keep focusing on the weekends, I think I can get all of that done by week 8. And week 8, or week 7, I think it is, I submit my proposal, first 3 chapters of my dissertation, to my chair and ask him to review it. Then what I plan to do is take that feedback and spend the remaining 3 or 4 weeks polishing and filling in all the areas that need additional work. There's some synthesis material I need in there. There's some theme development I need in there. There's a bunch of things. So my plan is first to bulk it up, then to switch to quantitative, get feedback, and then make whatever changes are necessary so that Chapter 2 is acceptable by the end of this term. That's my goal. I also took some advice that my chair gave me a while ago that I never got around to, and I started looking for groups of people that I can work with, dissertation groups. Hopefully there's a local meetup, and in fact there is, but there's no activity. So I signed up for that and wrote to the group, said, hey, this is exciting. When can we meet? Here in the Springs. I also looked on Facebook for dissertation groups, and there are a bunch. I signed up for 6, 9, something like that. I lost track of how many I requested to join. I thought that'd be nice. I'm actually using Facebook for something productive here. I'm using it to have a dissertation support group that I can work with. I also went through and looked at the DC pages. It's a dissertation community pages. Is that what it is? Doctoral community, something like that. At the Grand Canyon University, there's some forums there, and I replied to a couple people. But I got that all done. So that's what I did this week. Now, what am I planning to do in the coming week? Well, I have some deliverables due by Wednesday, and I've delivered all of them to my dissertation chair for review. Mostly, it's the individual success plan. That was the big deliverable. Now what I'm going to focus on this coming week is to make 4 checklists for processing articles. I have it in my head. I have a few diagrams written out on the process of moving from thinking of an article that you want to actually having it in the dissertation. And it involves going through, reading it, documenting the source of it, keeping track of a bunch of pieces. I'd mentioned earlier I'll have all these artifacts available, and I will. But I want to document a checklist. Say, here are the 4 states, and there are 5 states actually. And once you start here, what do you need to do to get to here? And once the article's here, what do you need to do to get to here? Once the article's here, and so forth. Until it's completely involved in the proposal or the dissertation. The proposal is just the first 3 chapters of the dissertation, that's all. That's what I'm going to do by Wednesday. So I'm going to work on 2 of them on Monday, the checklists, and 2 of the checklists on Wednesday. That's my plan. Also, if I'm able to watch the 4th Dissertation Rocket Launch video, I intend to watch that as well, hopefully Monday, and if not, then on Wednesday. This coming weekend, what I'm going to do is begin processing the 17 additional articles that I have identified. I have 17 articles that I've identified that I want to work with, and they're sitting in various states of some's just a list of the article. I get to go look it up, read the abstract, make sure it still applies, download it, get the APA citation for it, put it in a spot so I can get to it later, and then there are a handful of other things as part of the checklist. I'm going to begin that process so that hopefully by the end of the coming weekend I will have them all here ingested, downloaded, and ready to read, and then I'll work on that in the coming week. Wow, I've gone way too long here. However, I've got a lot done. I feel good. We're moving in the right direction. I hope this is helpful to you. If so, please like and subscribe, and feel free to give me any feedback in the comments. Something's helpful, something's not helpful, just let me know. Take care.